Nehemiah chapter 2. The king sends Nehemiah to Jerusalem. In the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of King Artaxerxes, some wine was brought to the king. I took the wine and gave it to the king. I had never before been sad when I was with him, but now I was sad. So the king asked me, "Are you sick? Why do you look sad? I think your heart is full of sadness." Then I was very afraid. But even though I was afraid, I said to the king, "May the king live forever. I am sad because the city where my ancestors are buried lies in ruins, and the gates of that city has been destroyed by fire." Then the king said to me, "What do you want me to do?" Before I answered, I prayed to the God of heaven. Then I answered the king, "If it would please the king, and I have been good to you, please send me to Jerusalem, the city in Judah, where my ancestors are buried. I want to go there and rebuild that city." The king and queen, who was sitting next to him, asked me, "How long will your trip take? When will you get back here?" The king was happy to send me, so I gave him a certain time. I also said to the king, "If it would please the king to do something else for me, let me ask. Please give me some letters to show the governors of the area west of the Euphrates River. I need those letters so that the governors will give me permission to pass safely through their lands on my way to Judah. I also need lumber for the heavy wooden beams for the gates, the walls, the walls around the temple, and my house. So I need a letter from you to Asaph, who is in charge of your forests." The king gave me the letters and everything I asked for. The king did that because my God was kind to me. So I went to the governors of the area west of the Euphrates River and gave them the letters from the king. The king had also sent army officials and soldiers on horses with me. Sanballat from Haran and Tobiah, the Ammonite official, heard about what I was doing. They were very upset and angry that someone had come to help the Israelites. Nehemiah inspects the walls of Jerusalem. I went to Jerusalem and stayed there 3 days. Then at night I started out with a few men. I had not said anything to anyone about what my God had put on my heart to do for Jerusalem. There were no horses with me, except the horse I was riding. While it was dark, I went out through the valley gate. I rode toward the Dragon Well and the gate of the ash piles. I was inspecting the walls of Jerusalem that had been broken down and the gates in the wall that had been burned by fire. Then I rode on toward the fountain gate and the king's pool. As I got close, I could see there was not enough room for my horse to get through, so I went up the valley in the dark, inspecting the wall. Finally, I turned back and went back in through the valley gate. The officials and important Israelites didn't know where I had gone. They didn't know what I was doing. I had not yet said anything to the Jews, the priests, the king's family, the officials, or any of the other people who would be doing the work. Then I said to them, "You can see the trouble we have here. Jerusalem is a pile of ruins, and its gates have been burned with fire. Come, let's rebuild the wall of Jerusalem. Then we will not be ashamed anymore." I also told them that my God had been kind to me. I told them what the king had said to me. Then they answered, "Let's start to work now." So we began this good work. But Sanballat from Haran, Tobiah the Ammonite official, and Geshem the Arab heard that we were building again. They made fun of us in that very ugly way. They said, "What are you doing? Are you turning against the king?" But this is what I said to them: "The God of heaven will help us succeed. We are God's servants, and we will rebuild this city. You cannot help us in this work because none of your family lived here in Jerusalem. You don't own any of this land, and you have no right to be in this place."